Happy Monday, Sonder family. Sorry about that music glitch. I'm really not sure what happened, but I did a couple of changes on the computer. Welcome. Happy Monday. Some of you guys may have the day off, so you've enjoyed a 3-day weekend and you are here to dig in to a new week. I am Jennifer Ogilvie, and I'm coming to you from the Dallas, Texas area in a community called Garland. And I'll be your facilitator as we set up our new week. We are in week 8 of 2023. And joining me this morning is the fabulous Karen, and she's going to pop on, give you a good morning wave. And Karen's going to be hanging out in the chat. So if you have any questions that come up, please let her know, and she will do her best to answer them or point you in the right direction so that you can get your questions answered. I'd love to know, is there anybody joining us for their very first time? Just put a me in the chat so we can give you, oh, good morning. Hello, Sarah, Katie. We've got some brand new, Brittany. Oh my goodness. We've got lots of new folks joining us this morning. So you may be sitting with your brand new March journal. March is shipping as we speak. I have mine, just got it. And Karen said she thinks hers might be out in the mail waiting for her to pick up. So if you have your March, that's great. You might want to take some notes. If you are sitting with February, you don't need to catch up. Just dig in to this week. Make sure that your chat, everyone, is set to everyone. If you see host and panelists, then just Karen and myself are going to see what you are sharing. And the chat does tend to move a little quickly. So if you are here for the first time, don't feel overwhelmed. It's just, take what you need. Lots of us already have a groove to how we set up our journal, but we carve out this time to spend it with our fellow Sonder community. And just, we set this appointment with ourselves for our self-care. So if you're brand new, no worries, take notes, grab screenshots. You can either do a screenshot on your computer or take a literal screenshot with your phone, a little picture of anything that resonates with you. Or you can grab even images of that chat if somebody drops something in there. So, well, Amber, happy birthday. Those March birthdays are coming up. If you are a February person celebrating your birthday this week, big happy birthday to you. We're just so glad everyone is here today. So let's dig in to week number 8. And as you know, we have been working with the theme of passion. If you're brand new here, your journal is going to come with a theme every single month that helps us do a deep dig into our souls. And we get to know ourselves better, and we just continue to grow and feel empowered. So we've been looking at what passion means in our lives. We always do a deep dig into the theme at these weekly setups. And so when you attend a weekly setup, you're going to have an opportunity to look at that theme, that like passion, and look at it through different lenses. And so we had 4 weekends this year or this month that we are setting up. So 4 different ways of framing what passion looks like in our life. I'm going to show you what that looks like when we put it on paper. So if this is your first time, you can take notes, and maybe you'll go back and do a reflection from week 1 and week 2, as well as this week. We're going to do a rosebud thorn reflection. We'll do our weekly setup with lots of examples, and then we will close. So let's look at that passion mind map. We are in week 3. So week 1 was looking at home, what passion looks like when we consider our home, our home environment, the things that we surround ourselves with. Week 2, those hobbies that bring us lots of passion and kind of help us lose track of time. And this week, for week 3, we are looking at arts and entertainment. So those feelings that are evoked when you look at other people doing their thing, right? That supporting that. I did throw some of these images together to kind of get our brains going this morning. Poetry, think about poetry, books, authors, movies, Netflix or shows, podcasts, um, anything athletic that you just love to watch. I did throw in the picture of the Houston Astro Stadium, Minute Maid Stadium. That's a passion for me. Museums, getting lost in sculptures and beautiful art, going to concerts, going to musicals, listening to music, all those beautiful things. And yes, Jen just dropped Donna Ashworth, great poetress. I love her writing. She's beautiful. Look her up. That's worth saving. And then I'm passionate about Mary Oliver. I love her poetry. Marvel, yes, Marvel fan, Sherry, I love it. So as I mentioned before, we have been working on this now. This is our 3rd week. So my page is there. Week 1 was how I responded to passion in my home. Week 2 was my top 3 hobbies. I have a lot of things I dibble dabble in, but I chose my top 3 hobbies and what they mean through that lens of passion. And this week it's arts and entertainment. And I started my response out with, I get so inspired by the talents of others. There's just nothing better than watching my Astros I love college football. Museums, man, if I could have been in Night at the Museum, that would have been just heaven for me. I love meandering about museums, music. I'm a big vinyl record head. I still have vinyl records from my youth. My husband and I have a whole bookcase of hundreds of vinyl albums. That's one of our things. We love to go thrift and then just have vinyl night where we listen. And then the symphony. I love bittersweet music, those beautiful strings. And I adore musicals, and especially I think because it connects me to my daughter Molly. That's just a thing that we always did. We went to musicals together. We watched all the movies, all the music. So think about books, beauty, fashion, art, music, plays, poetry, drama, all those things that you can see through the beauty of others' talents. What brings you passion in your arts and entertainment world? I'm going to play a song and I'll come back and check on you. Share in the chat as you respond to this prompt. goodness. I hope that this reflection brought you some joy as you realize how much arts and entertainment mean to your heart. And perhaps this week you can be very intentional about grabbing onto one of the things you've shared or that you've written about and putting that in place somewhere in your week ahead, just to kind of spark that passion. Thank you so much for sharing. Let's move on to our rosebud thorn reflection. So this week we're going to be on page 44. So it's at the end of last week, and our rosebud thorn reflection is a way for us to kind of look back over how things went, be very cognizant of what worked. What were your roses, the things that brought you joy, happiness, success? You felt so good, great and empowered. And then the buds are the things that are emerging, maybe some ideas you're thinking about, things that are on the horizon, stuff that you want to start. And then what were the challenges of last week? Did you bump into any thorns? Or were there any things that caused you some hiccups? And I've shared on my put my page on here. And so I'd love to know as you reflect on what your week looked like, what were your rosebud and thorns? These reflections really help us make our intention for the new week. What are we going to take forward, and what are we going to leave behind? So let me put on a quick song while you work on your rosebud thorn reflection. Thank you for reflecting back over your week last week. I want you to take a look at that thorn and figure out what you could do this week to turn that thorn into a bud or a rose. What could you change? I know some things are out of our control, especially if you are if you were ill or maybe struggling with depression, but are there some things that you can take from that thorn and put into this new week and reframe it and claim it, make it work for your life? Just kind of think about that. So let's take a look at getting that week planned. We're going to be on pages 46 and 47 this week in your February journal. And I always want to remind you guys, this is your journal. Customize it to make it work for you. Now, lots of the spaces in this journal are marked in a certain way: goals, to-dos, meal plan. And I want to remind you that it is okay to take these sections and change them up so that it works for whatever goes on in your life. You know yourself better. You know what you need. This is your personal private journal. No one's judging on how you set it up. And I just want to encourage you to take those sections that might need some repurposing to make it work for your life. So I've got a ton of examples right here on the kinds of things that you can put in these different sections. We call it repurposing, and you can feel free to grab a screenshot of that if you're trying to figure out exactly what you want to do. If you've been doing something and you're ready to try something else, more that's great. But also you can use your journal just as it is with what is already there. So it's all about making this work for you. So let's go ahead and take a look at defining how we want to feel this week. And that is going to kind of guide our footsteps into the rest of the week. So I want you to think about, how do you want to feel this week? My word is prepared. I've got some gardening to do, and I've got grandkids coming next weekend. So I want to get like the food cooked and all that kind of stuff, being ready for them so I can really focus on them and not all the prep that goes into that. So prepared is my word this week. What is your word this week? Or words or statement or quote? Drop that in the chat. So let us know how you want to feel this week. And I love the little example I put up here. This person actually claimed a word for each day of the week, knowing what kind of days were ahead for her. And so you could even do that. If you've got a really big, crazy day, you could, frame that day out with a word that you're choosing to embrace. So I'm seeing positive, motivated. You want to feel peaceful, intentional. You want to be recovered from being ill, accomplished. Lots of great words out there. Think about how you want to feel this week. Here's some, if you're kind of not sure. You can maybe be inspired by there or look in the chat. We've got lots of healthy and productive, focused, happy, present, patient, in control. That's always a good thing. Now, it's important to think about how you want to feel, because that helps you figure out how to set your week up. Grounded, proud of myself. Thank you guys for sharing in that chat and dropping through. So now let's look at those three major goals that are right under how we want to feel. These goals should help you obtain the feeling that you are wanting this week. So think about framing those goals to embrace the word that you just dropped there and how you want to feel. I want to encourage you on page 9 to go check your intentions. We have 8 days left of this month. How are those intentions going? Are there some changes on page 9 that you need to make? And or did you write something as an intention and forget about it? Do we need to frame out a goal so that we can get that intention and see it through? So you guys know yourselves best. So take a look at those intentions and your monthly habit tracker and see how you're doing there. You could set your goals this week through the lens of passion, and especially focusing on arts and entertainment. All those things that you said that you loved doing, right? That the entertainment and the art world brought to you. Maybe your goals have to do with that this week. You can eliminate some things from your life. Maybe set some no goals, some things that you're going to take off of your plate because they're no longer serving you. Look at previous weeks or even previous journals if you have them. Are there some outstanding things that you want to bring back into the forefront to get accomplished? You can set a single challenge. Maybe this week will be a decluttering challenge. Or if you did a word of the year, you can set your goals through the word of the year. So here are some examples for you. We do say, three major goals, but maybe you need to set one goal this week. Maybe that needs to be your focus because it's a big week about something in your life and you need to focus on one goal. Or you can see all the way over to the right there, someone is going to do 5 goals. So you know what you need, right? So set this space up for what you need. And remember, ask yourself, how are these goals going to support the way that you want to feel this week? I'm going to put on music for a quick moment, share in the chat, and let us know what you're working on this week. nothing better for your self care than setting goals each week so that you know how to best care for yourself. Thank you for working on this section with us and for sharing in the chat. So now let's look at our weekly to-dos. That's that section that's to the left of the um, three major goals section. Now, you have seen this before. This is the Eisenhower matrix, and it is a way to divide up all the things if you have a crazy to-do list. It helps you prioritize and make sure that you're doing the thing that really needs to be done and maybe eliminating the things that can be taken off your plate or pushing them back or delegating them to someone else. So if you haven't seen this before and it is speaking to you, grab a screenshot of that. And I stumbled upon the image that is to the right of the Eisenhower matrix. And I love the words that you see in the actual boxes. So urgent and important means do it now. That is how you're prioritizing. Do it now. Urgent and not important, delegate it. Give that to somebody else. Important but not urgent, plan it. Put it in a plan of action for later. And then, of course, not urgent and not important, drop it. Get it out of your life. So, yes, Julia, it is a great way to sort through those ginormous lists and help you prioritize if you want to really do all the things that are on the list, or are there ways you can delve that out to someone else? Other ways of setting this up, well, here are some real examples of Sonder family using the Eisenhower matrix. And then here's some more ways of setting it up. Maybe you are working on some inner things and you want to focus on how to be. How do you want to feel? Goals around that. Your to be list or to feel list. Then there is a need, want, hope, to do. So you just divide this up into those sections and fill them out. And then some other ways of dividing this up. You can do a wants and a needs list, a morning and evening to-do list. Let's see, we've also got school and personal, which could also be refashioned into work and personal life or work and home life. Someone you can see in the middle bottom, self, home, others. And then there's also the weekly to-dos that is, what am I going to read? What am I going to watch? What am I going to listen to? And then these are some other ways of repurposing this area. I keep mine blank. I call it a ta-da list. I know several of you do a ta-da list, and that's like my catch-all list for the things that I do that were not on the to-do list, but I'm going to give myself a little credit for it. I put my to-dos on my weekly spread. So I leave this space blank and add to it as the week goes along. You might put some fun stickers to frame that out. And then lots of you have started using this space as a mini bingo. I am a bingo gal. I love doing a bingo. I put mine in the shopping list space each week, but that's a fun way of doing tasks and treats. And there's a lot of satisfaction and feedback when you are marking those out. And then perhaps you're working on a to-don't list. What are you going to take away this week to help serve you better? So let's work on our to-do list, and I'll put on some music, show you these slides again, and then I'll check back in with you in just a moment. Okay, I love seeing how you guys are going to use this space to prioritize the things that are important in your life. Yes, Amy, just right. I love seeing craft more. When you guys can put in time to be creative, oh, it's so good for your heart. So now we're going to look at the section that's below that, the bottom section on this page for your habit and activity tracker. Now, I know we have some brand new folks joining us today, and you will see in your journal that you have a monthly habit tracker. It's that wheel. And then we have these weekly habit trackers. So just a reminder that the monthly habit tracker, we like to say, set that up with the things that you intend to do every single day in the month. Perhaps things like taking your vitamins or daily movement, making your bed, those things that can happen every single day. That goes in that monthly tracker that's in the front of your journal. It's on page 11. The weekly trackers are fabulous for using as you need for any particular week. So you know what kind of week you're going to have, right? Perhaps you will choose to track maybe 2 or 3 things in a week. You don't have to fill out all the spaces. Again, it's about what works for you. And I have some examples here from fellow Sonder family members. Um, as just some ideas to set your week up. So you can see I've shared this the last couple of setups I've done because I thought it was really fun, a fun way of tracking fruits and veggies. Someone's really trying to lean into eating the rainbow, and so they're tracking actually what they eat by the colors, and they'll just mark that off, which I think is fun. The one that is on the bottom left is you can see they're for some reason are probably going to be out of town, maybe taking a trip. They're only going to track 3 days in their week. So give yourself permission to use this space as you know your week is going to go about. And I'd also like to point out they're tracking 4 things. Not all the lines are filled out. That's okay. You do what you need for your success. Then the one at the top, I wanted to point out, if you notice that they are going to go to PT, physical therapy on Wednesday and Friday, and they actually circled those days. And then below it, they're planning to make dinner 3 times. And so they've circled the 3 days that they are doing dinner. It's another way of having that visual, that intention of pen to paper when you circle and you make that plan. The one that is in the lower middle, they have kind of set that up in a fun way. They're going to do something 5 times and then 4 times, 3 times, 2 times, and 1 time, and just track it that way. And then the one next to it, stay hydrated, go to bed early. That is being tracked with just colors. So no pressure. Most weeks I do not set a goal. Some weeks I do put a number of times I want to do something, but most of the weeks I don't even set the goal. I just check off as the things happen. So giving you permission to do that. This is not about making you feel bad. This is about setting yourself up for success. So I have a whole bunch of habits and activities that could be inspiration for this space. Let's work on this, and I'll come and check back in with you in just a moment. Let us know what you'll be doing this week. had a great point that you can use your weekly habit tracker to maybe refer back to something on your monthly tracker. And I said actually this week, one of my daily habit or daily activity on this portion of the page is to go check my monthly habit tracker and make sure that that I'm doing the things that I intended to do. So it can just kind of be that second visual of making sure you're checking in with yourself, looking at those intentions, looking at those habits. So we're going to now move over to page 47. And this page tends to have a lot of flexibility. And I've noticed in Sonder Club that many of you repurpose these spaces, all of them, the meal plan, the mind body health plan, the shopping list. You make these work for you depending on what you have going on in your life. So I'm going to kind of lump this whole page in together, and I'm going to share lots of examples. Then I'll put on some music and I'll scroll back and forth through the examples so you can decide maybe how to set these sections up so that it works in your life. We talk a lot about repurposing. What do you need? Do you need to see some quotes, some words of affirmation or inspiration for the week? Are you traveling? Do you need a packing list somewhere? This is a great space to put that. Maybe creating some morning or evening routines in your life. You could put that on these pages and some of these spots. So here's just a ton of ideas for repurposing. And let's see what that looks like. So the meal plan often gets repurposed. Now, I do use mine for meals, but I write the meals in kind of after the fact, and it's really a leftovers tracker for me. So I can keep track of when we ate what, and we can be sure that we're eating safe foods as leftovers. But you can see here's a ton of ideas, journal prompts. Perhaps you want to explore the areas of the 7 types of rest. You can look that up to get more information on 7 types of rest. We tend to need 1 or 2 types of rest more than others, but this could be a great way of exploring all those different types of rest. Self-care plan, weekly reflection, the affirmations from Sonder Club, chore list, appointments, wardrobe tracker, or a packing list. And I did want to point out those little water droplets. Several of you I know now color code those water droplets so that you know what you're ingesting. So that's a fun thing. If you drink coffee, water, tea, lemonade, soda, you can color code your drops and see what you're actually putting in your body using those water drops. Symptom tracker. If you're looking at trying to gather some information to give to your healthcare provider, some of these spaces are great for repurposing how you're tracking those symptoms. Maybe you're going to do a daily debrief, fasting, school, work, homework, lesson plans, dinner plans. Let's look at the mind body health plan. Lots of folks like to use this for truly leaning into how you're going to embrace your self-care each week. So here are some great examples. Really like the one that's there on the bottom right. It's just a quick little reflection each day. How did I nourish my mind, body, soul? And just a little space to drop a word in there. So just some great ways of leaning into that mind body health. Here's some more examples. And again, I'm going to scroll back and forth between all of these slides while we're working on this page. The one that's in the bottom corner there on the right, someone is tracking the national days of. So that's not current for this week, but just an example if you want to embrace those fun days. And then the shopping list, great little space to repurpose. I had mentioned earlier, I always drop a little bingo board here of my tasks and my treats for the week. If you have a special occasion, you're celebrating your birthday, anniversary, one of your loved ones, uh, special day, make a little bingo board there, and you can be very intentional about celebrating. You can see there's packing list, just some, great ways of repurposing this space if you don't use it for a shopping list. And then right below that shopping list is I am loving. And I like to take this and just like, what am I loving right now at this moment? It may be a, a color that I'm wearing. It may be a movie or a book. It could be something yummy that I ate. So anything, what are you loving right now at this very moment? So let me put on some music. I'm going to go back through all of these slides. Would love to know how you are setting up these spaces this week and inspire each other with those ideas. Okay, I love seeing how you guys have been inspired by other Sonder family members and how you take care of these spaces so that they are working for you. So, thank you for sharing in the chat and how those things are going for you. I do have some images of our weekly spreads and kind of what those pages can look like if you are trying to figure out how to make those long columns for each day work for you. So you can see that there are lots of ways of tracking different things throughout your week. I love that fun, health, home, and work, being very intentional each day. Affirmations, the six most list. I love that. A prayer that she's got pray, reflect, and exercise. So just kind of tracking all those things. Here's another couple of pages so that you can see and you can use colors, stickers, or you can do like what you see on the left there is it's just ink. I'm kind of an ink person. I don't do stickers in my journal. I just kind of write, and I may from time to time add colors with my colored pencils. So it's really about what works for you. I know that lots of you have a creative outlet with these journals, and so you sit and beautify these pages, and you're tapping into that creative self. So the whole point is make it work for you, whatever it works for you. And so there's a couple more pages and examples of how folks set up that daily spread. So, Sonder family, I want to thank you for kicking off President's Day with Karen and myself. We're so proud of you for carving out an appointment to get your journals ready for the week. We'd love to see what you're planning to do this week. So take a photo and share in Sonder Club so that everyone can see how you are setting this up to work for you. This is a refer a friend code, a QR code. You can hold your camera up to that, and that will take you to a way to refer Silk and Sonder to a friend. But you can also find that QR code on the inside of your cover. It's the second one. And then this code on the top of your journal is the QR code that will take you to the Sonder Club link so that you can join Sonder Club if you're not already part of that community. Here are the songs that we listened to today, and I've also dropped the playlist in the chat. And I wish you guys a week filled with passion as we are starting to close down February. Make it great, and we will see you soon. Have a wonderful President's Day, Sonder family.